Hello, Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends, students, and YouTube viewers. All of you know that I have started a series of lectures on 12th English new syllabus, and in my previous videos I have completed subunit 2.1. Now today I would like to teach you subunit 2.2, that is poem Indian Weaver, written by famous Indian poetess Sarojini Naidu. So before starting the poem, first of all I would like to give a brief introduction of the poetess Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, born in 1879 in Hyderabad and died in 1949 in Lucknow. She was political leader, social activist, freedom fighter, great public orator and great Indian poetess. She was greatly influenced by Mahatma Gandhi. She was the first lady who became the president of Indian National Congress. She was the first woman who became the governor of an Indian state after independence. She became the governor of Uttar Pradesh. Her famous poetic collections are The Bird of Time and The Broken Wing. The most important fact about Sarojini Naidu is that she is known as Indian Nightingale, भारतीय कोकिला. उनकी शायरी की वजह से उनको बुलबुले हिंद के खिताब से याद किया जाता है. Now after the brief introduction of the poetess, I would like to tell you something about the type of this poem Indian Weaver. Dear students, Indian Weaver is very short, very simple and very beautiful poem which is written in the form of quatrain. What is quatrain? Quatrain is a type of poem in which each stanza has 4 lines with rhyming pairs and with rhyming scheme. We have read free verse in our earlier poem, Song of the Rope and Road. Free verse is free from rhyming pairs and rhyming scheme, whereas quatrain is a poem which has each stanza of 4 lines and having rhyming pairs and rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme of this poem Indian Weaver is A A B B. Now, second important fact that in this poem the poetess Sarojini Naidu used same figures of speech or same poetic devices in each stanza of the poem. Those poetic devices are conversational tone, imagery, metaphor, simile, alliteration and repetition. Among these poetic devices, alliteration, repetition and metaphor, these 3 have already mentioned by me in my previous lecture. So I will explain again these 3 and other new poetic devices when I will explain the stanzas of the poem. Now pay attention to the title of the poem, Indian Weaver. Pay attention to the word weavers. Weaver, students, this is a noun which is made up from the verb to weave. To weave means bunna. So weaver means weavers are the persons who weave clothes, who weave garments, जिनको हम कह सकते हैं बुनकर या जुलाहे. So Indian weavers means Indian artisans who weave garments or who weave clothes. Now I am going to explain the central theme of the poem. All of you know that we can easily understand the central theme by understanding the title of the poem. So prima facie we can say that Indian Weaver is a poem about the culture of India, about the tradition of India, in which the poetess Sarojini Naidu appreciates the work of Indian weaver. She appreciates the work of Indian weaver. Indian weaver are the persons who weave the cloths according to the need of Indian society. तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इस नज़्म का पहला थीम यह है कि इस नज़्म में शायरा सरोजनी नायडू ने इंडियन वीवर्स की तारीफ़ की है, उनके काम को सराहा है. It is the first theme of this poem. But the most important theme or the main theme of this poem is that in this poem, poetess highlights three main stages of human life, which are birth, or you can say childhood, second youth or adulthood, third old age or death. These three stages of human life are metaphorically compared with the three stages of a day in this poem, which are morning, evening and night. In simple words, we can say that the central theme of this poem is that as a day starts with morning and ends with night, similarly a man's journey of life, it starts with birth and ends to death. And human life is a mixture of happy moments and sad moments. Human life is a mixture of happiness and sorrows. ये इस नज़्म का असल थीम है. हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इस नज़्म में शायरा ने दिन के तीन हिस्सों को इंसानी ज़िंदगी के तीन स्टेजेस से कंपेयर किया है और ये बताया है कि इंसानी ज़िंदगी गमों का और खुशियों का मजमुआ है. ये इस नज़्म का असल थीम है. एंड देयर इज़ वन मोर थीम which is though not very clear, but I think it's my opinion that you should know about this theme also. That theme is that students, dear students, this poem was written at that time when Indian freedom struggle was going on and Sarojini Naidu had played an important role in the Indian freedom struggle. And I have previously explained that Sarojini Naidu was greatly influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and his principles. At that time, all newspapers, all Indian newspapers, all Indian publications were banned in India. All newspapers were banned in India. So maybe Sarojini Naidu used her poetry as a medium to communicate her ideas and her thoughts to Indian people. In this poem, by appreciating the work of Indian weavers or by celebrating Indian weavers, she is trying to give a message to Indian people to use स्वदेशी. हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इस नज़्म का एक थीम ये भी है कि इस नज़्म में शायरा ने लोगों को स्वदेशी माल का इस्तेमाल करने पर उभारा है. So these are three themes of this poem, but the most important theme is that in this poem the stages of day are metaphorically compared to the stages of human life. After understanding the central theme, now I am going to start the stanzas of the poem. Now see the first stanza of the poem. I am reading this stanza from your textbook and this stanza is also shown on the screen. Now see the first stanza. Weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. It is the first stanza of the poem. See the first line, weavers weaving at break of day. In this line, there is a new word for you and that is break of day. It's a phrase. Phrase means मुहावरा हम जिसको कहते हैं उर्दू में. It's a phrase and in simple language, break of day means early in the morning at the time when sun rises. So weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment? A garment means a cloth. So gay here it is used in the sense of bright. Here it is used for brightness or very beautiful, very charming cloth. So in the first two lines of the poem, the poetess is asking to Indian weavers that why do they weave so bright and so beautiful garment at the time of morning, in the early morning. Now see the third line, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. There is also a new word for you, halcyon. Halcyon, okay? Halcyon is name of a bird. which is generally known as kingfisher. And all of you know that kingfisher bird has very beautiful blue feathers. बहुत खूबसूरत उसके blue रंग के feathers होते हैं. We weave the robes of a newborn child. Robes here used for cloths. So in the first two lines, the poetess is asking to the Indian weavers, why do they weave so beautiful garments, so beautiful cloth in the early morning. Now in the remaining two lines of the stanza, the weavers are replying to the poetess that they are weaving very beautiful blue color cloth for newborn child. Here blue color is also used as a symbol of happiness, as a symbol of joy, as a symbol of hope, as a symbol of expectation. So in the first stanza of the poem, the first stage of human life, that is birth and childhood, which is metaphorically compared to the first stage of a day, that is morning. Morning is very beautiful. Morning is full of hope. Similarly, birth, at the time of birth, every person is very happy. All family members have various hopes and expectations. जिस तरह सुबह बहुत खूबसूरत होती है, उसी तरह इंसानी ज़िंदगी का आगाज़ भी खूबसूरती के साथ होता है. और जिस तरह सुबह में बहुत खुशियाँ होती है, उसी तरह बर्थ के ज़रिए से, पैदाइश के ज़रिए से एक इंसान की ज़िंदगी में और उसके फैमिली वालों में खुशियाँ आती हैं. सो इन द फर्स्ट स्टेंजा, द ब्यूटीफुल मॉर्निंग इज़ compared to the birth, or you can say first phase of human life, that is childhood, which is free from all fears, which is free from all sorrows. And here blue color is also used as a symbol. Now I am going to explain various figures of speech or various poetry devices. Students, I have previously told you that this poem is written in the form of quatrain. See, the first stanza has 4 lines and there is a rhyme scheme. First 2 lines have a rhyming pair, day and gay, and third and fourth line have a rhyming pair, wild and child. So it is written in the form of quatrain. Now second important poetry device or figure of speech is conversational tone. See the format of the stanza. In the first 2 lines there is a question, and in the remaining 2 lines there is the answer of the question. In the first 2 lines poetess is asking a question to the Indian weaver, and in the next lines weavers are replying to the poetess. When this question answer technique is used in poetry, so in the poetic language it is called conversational tone. What is conversation? Conversation means बातचीत करना, गुफ्तगू करना. And in conversation one person asks a question, another reply to him. So second important poetry device is conversational tone, which is present in this stanza and also in all 3 stanzas. Now another important figure of speech is imagery. Imagery means what? Imagery means use of color or use of various images. The poet or poetess uses various colors and various images to represent something. In this poem, in the whole poem, various images are used to represent various different things. In this stanza, see the first line, weavers weaving at break of day. At break of day, it is used to show the beauty of morning. So it is an image. So it is the example of imagery. In the second line, garment so gay, it is also an important example of imagery. In the third line, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, it is also an example of imagery. So these are examples of imagery. Next important poetry device is metaphor. And in my previous lecture, I have briefly explained what is metaphor, what is the definition of metaphor. In the first stanza, the morning, the first part of day life, the first part of day means morning is metaphorically compared to the first phase of human life, that is birth and that is childhood. मेटाफर को हम कहते हैं इस्तिआरा. तो इसमें एक मेटाफरिकली कंपैरिजन है कि यहाँ पर इंसानी ज़िंदगी का पहला फेज़ यानी जिसको हम कहेंगे पैदाइश और बचपन को कंपेयर किया गया है मॉर्निंग के साथ, सुबह के साथ. सो इट इज़ द एग्जांपल ऑफ मेटाफर. नाउ सी द थर्ड लाइन ऑफ द स्टैंजा, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. In this line, there is a comparison made between two things. Blue color of the cloth is directly compared to the blue color of feathers of halcyon bird or kingfisher, and it is called simile. Simile के लिए हम उर्दू में जो लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं वो है तशबीह. इसकी डेफिनेशन क्या है? Simile means when a direct comparison is made between two things using words like or as, it is called simile. So simile and metaphor, तशबीह और इस्तिआरा, इनमें कुछ मुमासिलत भी है, कुछ एक जैसी चीज़ें भी है और इनमें डिफरेंस भी है. What is the difference between simile and metaphor? The difference is that in the metaphor there is indirect comparison between two things, whereas in the simile there is direct comparison by using the words like and as. In the third line of the first stanza, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, blue color of the cloth of newborn baby is compared with the blue color of feathers of kingfisher. So it is the example of simile. And last poetry device is alliteration. See the first line, weavers weaving at break of day. Weavers and weaving, both words starts with the same consonant letter W, and when two or more words starts with the same consonant letter, it is called alliteration. So it is the example of alliteration. And in this stanza there are also another examples of alliteration. It is your homework to find out other examples of alliteration. So here we have completed our first stanza of the poem. Now see the next stanza of the poem. I am going to read the stanza. Listen carefully and see the stanza also on the screen. Weavers weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. In this stanza also poet is again asking a question to the weavers. Weavers weaving at fall of night. In the first line there is also new word for you, fall of night, and it is also a phrase which means fall of night means evening time. So poetess is asking to the weavers, why do they weave a garment so bright, so beautiful in the evening time? Now see the third line of this stanza, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. In this line there is also a new word, plumes. Plumes is nothing but feathers, soft feathers, पर हम जिसको कहते हैं. Plumes of peacock means मोर के पर की तरह, purple and green. We weave the marriage veils of a queen. What is veil? Veil is a cloth which is used by women to cover the head and face, जिसको हम कह सकते हैं घूंघट. And marriage veils means which is used by the bride to cover head and face. So when the poet is asked to the Indian weavers, why do they weave beautiful garment in the evening, in the third and fourth lines of this stanza, the weavers are replying that they are weaving marriage veils of a queen, which is purple and green in color, like the color of feathers of a peacock. So in this stanza, fall of night or evening time is implicitly compared to the second phase of human life, that is youth or adulthood. Adulthood is not completely free from sorrows. It is a mixture of sorrows and happiness. It is the most beautiful time of human life. It is the most interesting time of human life. So here purple and green, both colors are used as symbols. Purple color is the symbol of struggle, whereas green color is the symbol of happiness and success. तो ये ज़िंदगी का वो हिस्सा होता है नौजवानी जिसमें खुशियाँ और गम एक साथ चलती हैं और ज़िंदगी का सबसे यादगार हिस्सा होता है. तो यहाँ पर जो है इसी फेज़ को इवनिंग टाइम के ज़रिए से, क्योंकि इवनिंग जो दिन का सबसे खूबसूरत हिस्सा होता है जहाँ लाइट भी होता है और डार्कनेस भी होती है, उसी तरह ज़िंदगी का सबसे खूबसूरत हिस्सा जवानी होती है जहाँ पर खुशियाँ भी होती हैं और गम भी होते हैं. इसी को और ज़्यादा अच्छे से रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए पोइटस ने ये बताया कि व्यूवर्स ये कहते हैं कि हम शाम में क्या बुन रहे हैं, हम एक मैरिज वेल्स, मैरिज का घूंघट बुन रहे हैं जिसका कलर पर्पल और ग्रीन है. सो पर्पल एंड ग्रीन हेयर इज यूज टू रिप्रेजेंट द स्ट्रगल एंड हैप्पीनेस, द स्ट्रगल एंड सक्सेस ऑफ adulthood. Now see the poetic devices. The poetic devices are same which are explained in the first stanza. The first poetic device is conversational tone, same as the first stanza. First two lines of this stanza is also a question. The poetess is asking a question to the weaver, and third and fourth line of this stanza is a reply from the weavers. So it is the example of conversational tones. In this stanza there are also examples of imagery. Fall of night, it is the example of imagery. Garments so bright, it is the example of imagery. Like the plumes of peacock, purple and green, it is the example of imagery. Now next important poetic device is metaphor. In this stanza, metaphorically, the second phase of day evening is compared metaphorically to the second phase of human life, that is adulthood or youth age. Now see the third line of this stanza, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. In this line there is example, this line is the example of simile. Here direct comparison is made between the marriage veils of purple and green color to the feathers of peacock. So it is the example of simile. And in this stanza there are also many examples of alliteration. First line, weavers weaving at fall of night. Sound of W is repeated. Repeated consonant sound is called alliteration. Means when two or more than two words which starts from the same consonant letter, it is called alliteration. There are many other examples of alliteration. So it is the second stanza of the poem in which the second phase of human life, very interesting phase of human life, that is youth age, or you can say adulthood, is represented by the poetess Sarojini Naidu. Now see the last stanza of the poem. I am reading the stanza. Weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Same like the first and second stanza, in this stanza there is also a question. In the first two lines the poetess is asking a question. See the first line of the last stanza, weavers weaving solemn and still. In this line there are two new words for you, solemn and still. Solemn means sad and serious, quiet, and still means without movement and quiet. Weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Chill means cold. So here again in the beginning two lines of this stanza, poet is asking a question to Indian weaver, but in this stanza's question and previous stanza's question there is a difference. There are two differences. First difference is that in this stanza first time the poetess is describing the mood of Indian weaver. She says that weavers weaving solemn and still. वो कहती है कि weavers जो है बहुत sad, बहुत quiet, बहुत खामोश बैठकर कुछ कर रहे हैं, अपना काम कर रहे हैं. पहली मर्तबा उसने यहाँ पर weavers के mood को describe किया है. And the second difference is that the question word is here changed. In the beginning two stanza, the poetess is asking the question by using the word why. Why do you weave? Why do you weave? But here but here she says that what do you weave in the moonlight chill? इतनी सर्द रात में चांद की रोशनी में तुम क्या कर रहे हो? क्यों कर रहे हो, क्यों बुन रहे हो नहीं, बल्कि क्या कर रहे हो. It means that she is unable to understand the activity of the Indian weaver. She is surprised, she is exclaimed, white as feather and white as a cloud. White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. The weavers are replying that they weave white shroud for the funeral of a dead man, and the white color is compared to feather and also compared to the cloud. वो जवाब देते हैं कि हम एक सफ़ेद कपड़े से सफ़ेद कफन बुन रहे हैं एक मुर्दा के लिए. In the third line there is no difficult word, but in the fourth line we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Funeral means janaza and shroud means the cloth which is used to wrap the dead body. In simple word, kafan. ठीक है. So in this stanza, the third stage of day, last stage of day, that is night, this stage is implicitly compared or metaphorically compared to the last stage of human life, that is old age and that is death. Here again white color is used as a symbol. White color is a symbol of peace. White color is a symbol of quietness and silence. White color is also symbol of emotionless or lifeless. So the journey of man's life starts with happiness, starts with joy, starts with birth, and it ends to death. It ends to death. So in this stanza there is a comparison between the night and the last stage of human life, that is death. Now see the poetic devices. Poetic devices are the same as first and second stanza. First poetic device is conversational tone. In the first two lines the poet is asking a question, and the next two lines the weavers are replying. So question answer technique, it is called conversational tone. Second important figure of speech is imagery. In this stanza there are also various images like moonlight chilled and white as a feather and white as a cloud. These all are the examples of imagery. Metaphor, I have previously explained that in this stanza metaphorically night is compared to the last part of human life, that is death. So it is the example of metaphor. And in the third line of the poem, in the third line of this stanza, white as a feather and white as a cloud, as words are used, and there is a comparison, direct comparison. Fourth line, white color of funeral shroud is directly compared to the white color of feather and white color of cloud by using the word as. So it is the example of simile. And in this stanza there are also various examples of alliteration, and you can easily find out those examples. So here we have completed all three stanzas of the poem Indian Weaver. In short, we can say that in this poem, first of all, poetess Sarojini Naidu appreciates the work of Indian weaver, and she also gives the message to use Swadeshi. And second and most important theme of the poem is that in this poem, three stages of human life, birth, youth and old age and death, these are directly compared to the three stages of day, which are morning, evening and night. In simple, we can say that human life is a mixture of happiness and sorrows. Here we have completed our this poem. Thank you all of you.